Here's Tom Mills again from Paleo Planet. I'm going to make an arrow, primitive arrow, California Indian style, out of cane that grows here in California now. It's been introduced, but it's very similar to a cane that grew here prehistorically. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is straighten the cane. I'm going to leave it full length. Right now it's a little longer than it'll end up being. But I want to leave it long so I can straighten it. So I'm going to do that. I've got this camp stove here. As I move the cane over the top, I'm spinning it too so it doesn't scorch in any one place. When it's ready to bend, it gets a little waxy look. You can almost feel it get a little sticky. The moisture comes out of it. And do just a little at a time. I'm bending over this little block so I don't go too far. Helps me get a gradual bend. The trick with straightening arrow shafts is to go slow and do a little bit at a time. Don't try to push too much at once. And it's already getting straighter back there. I'm going to let that part cool off now. I'm going to move forward. You notice each one of these cane parts, they cup a different way. This one goes that way. In between these nodes, cups that way. Between this way, it goes back that way. So I'm going to work at first taking out those cups best I can. A lot of times once you do that, the shaft is miraculously straight, even though intuitively it looks like you need to do straightening at the nodes. And I'm just going to take out that little cup. Big bend right at that. Probably going to cut this part off anyway, but this last little bit here, I want to get this node perfectly straight because I'm going to cut it off here most likely, and I want that part to be straight. I may not. I may extend out here. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's looking pretty good now. Okay, it's good enough for the moment. I'm going to shut the stove off, save the gas. I'm going to do some more work now on the shaft. I usually straighten out part of it and see where my arrow is going to be in there, and then I trim it and do my final straightening. I'm going to clean up each of these nodes. Has a little leaf remnant, so I'm going to just use a steel knife here and clean some of that off. Later on, I'm going to take some red ochre, mix it up, and get it into these nodes. Makes it look really cool. It doesn't stick to the other part because it has the outer rind like bamboo on this cane, but it stains the little areas that I'm cleaning off here now, and it makes it look really neat. Okay, so now I got to see where in here I want my arrow to be. First I'm going to start at the nock. I'm going to make a nock real simple in the back here, right above this node. I'm going to make a nock right above this node, but I want to orient it the best way possible. What I do is I sight down the arrow and I find which way it's the strongest, and I'm going to orient that left and right so as it goes around the bow, it has the strong side facing the bow. So there it is. I want my nock be oriented this way now, the opening to be this way, so the string will go in that way. So what I'm going to do is take my knife. I'm just going to make 2 slashing cuts. 1, 2. And there's the beginning of my nock. Let me see if I can like that. I'm going to have to move that further down here now. A little closer in. And later on I'm going to clean that up with a file. We get in there with a file and round it out and make it real nice. But for now, I'm just going to knock off these sharp points so I don't stab myself. That's where my knock's going to be there. Okay, I made the beginnings of my knock. Now I'm going to figure out how long I'm going to make the arrow. And I shoot these types of arrows off of fairly short bows, little California Indian style bows. And my draw is only about 26 inches. So typically, I'll put the arrow to my chest, reach out with my fingers, and somewhere around this long is about where I draw to with my short little bows. So I'm going to cut this off here, prepare it for my foreshaft to go in there. So my overall length of the arrow is going to be something 30-something inches, but I'm only drawing to about 26. I'm not going to bother measuring it, but that's pretty much where I go, the length of my arm I can pinch to. I'm going to make sure it's straight at the end here. So once I cut this part off, I'm not going to have the leverage I need. I see you could use a little bit more straightening right there. So I'm going to fire up the stove and do that. It's very subtle. It doesn't have to move much, just a little bit. A little bit more down this way. Be careful not to undo what I've done there, so just a little bit. That's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good now. Got a little straightening here. Some of this I could do later when it's all done, but might as well do it now, because if it's going to break, I'm going to have a finished arrow it'll break. These are all just little minor adjustments. I'm using just a little pulse of energy. Okay, all the way up to here is perfectly straight now. I'm going to trim this last bit off. Okay, I've got my arrow shaft straightened fairly well. A little bit of a curve here I need to fix first. And once I do that, I'm going to put a sinew wrap on the front here. And I'm going to ream out the inside to accept the foreshaft. I don't want to do it now because it'll just split the shaft. I'm going to wrap it first. But I'm going to have to straighten out this last little bit here. That's pretty darn good. A little bit in the tail end. By the nock end rather. And I'll have this shaft pretty much perfect. Okay, I'm going to let that cool a little bit. I'm going to chew up some sinew.